Have you ever been in a major car accident and then have to argue about who's at fault? No, me either, and I never want to be in that situation. I've definitely heard some horror stories of she said, he said, and people start suing each other and getting into lawsuits, which just makes it even worse. And that's why I always recommend a dash camera in the car, just so you have video evidence of what really happened. Recently, Nextbase, a dash camera manufacturer, reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to check out their product. After doing some of my own research on the company and their products, I realized that Nextbase is one of the top picks of Forbes magazine's top picks of 2019, so I definitely wanted to check it out for myself. Welcome back, my name is Eric and you're watching ModernDayTech, where tech is more than just cool, it is technically awesome. You become technically awesome yourself by hitting the subscribe button. I want to thank Nextbase for sending this out to me for a full honest review. I will be leaving affiliate links down below where you can pick this up if you want to or get more information, so definitely check out that link down below. Today we're going to check out the 422 and 522, which are their top two models in their Series 2 dash camera. They also sent me a bunch of accessories which we're going to check out, and upon first look I definitely thought these things looked very weird compared to the competition that I've seen. With its long barrel lens, I swore it was going to hit the windshield, but as you'll see in a moment in the install, it definitely will not. Now the main difference between the 422 and the 522 is the screen size. The 422 also does not have the polarizing filter, but you can definitely add that on as an accessory. But other than that, these two are exactly the same. They both have the same resolution and they both have the same features like Alexa built in and also the SOS feature, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now the 422 has a 2.5-inch HD touchscreen compared to the 522, which has a 3-inch touchscreen. And you might say, hey, that's only a half-inch difference. Is it worth the extra price? Well, I can tell you that half-inch definitely adds some size here. I was actually quite surprised how much bigger the 522 is compared to the 422, and I hope this video kind of shows you how much bigger it really is. Both cameras offer a 140-degree field of vision, which is not a huge wide-angle lens, but it's okay and it's good enough for most dash cameras. Also, both models come with a GPS module, so you can actually see the speed of your vehicle, and also it aids in the location service of the SOS feature, which I'll talk more about in a moment. Both units come with Wi-Fi and also Bluetooth 4.2, so you're able to connect your dash camera to your phone. Both models also offer an intelligent parking mode, so if your car gets hit or it gets broken into, it will actually record what's going on once it detects some movement and record that for you to watch later, lock down the footage so you can access it later. And for all my Amazon Echo Auto fans out there, guess what? You still don't need that Echo Auto because both dash cameras come with Alexa built in. And if that's not cool enough, both dash cameras offer a SOS emergency response system. So if you're in a major car accident and can't call for help, it'll actually call emergency services for you, give them your GPS location, and get the help out to you right away. Now this service is free for 1 year, and then after that, it's going to cost you $5 per month if you want to keep it. Now, as far as accessories go, everything that you'll need to get started is in the box except for a micro SD card. You will need to pick up a micro SD card under 128 gigabytes, and I definitely highly recommend a high endurance one because this thing gets used a lot, plus it gets put in elements of extreme colds and extreme hotness, and you definitely want something that'll last. Now it does come with the Click and Go Pro GPS mount, which makes it very easy to take the camera up and down and still keep the mount up there. Also comes with the power adapter that plugs into your power socket. You can, however, buy a hardwire kit if you want to hardwire it directly to your fuse panel, which I did in my particular case. I'll show you how I did that in a moment. It comes with a suction cup mount just in case you want to have something a little less permanent, and it also comes with the tuck tool so you can hide those wires away. Nextbase also sells additional accessories. For instance, you can get the polarizing filter for the 422 model, and then each camera has the capability of having a secondary camera, which they have 3 different options. They have the rear window camera, which I'm personally going to be installing in my car. It does give you the best view, but it's also the hardest to install. And then they have the cabin view camera. You can see everything that's going on in the cabin. During the day, you're definitely going to have a great view, but unfortunately at night, there is no infrared, so you're not going to be able to see what's going on the inside. So if you're a Lyft or Uber driver, this dash camera is not for you. But otherwise, this cabin camera does get a great view of everything on the inside and does give a little bit on the outside, also on the sides and also the back. But if you do want to get a better view of the back, of the rear, but not install a rear dash camera with all the hardware, then you definitely want to check out the rear view camera module, which looks exactly the same as a cabin view module, but instead of a wide angle lens, it has a zoom lens, which is just genius. I don't know why other brands don't have this also, because you can get great angle of the back without going through the hard install of installing a rear view mounted camera. Now, by all means, I wouldn't say this is a great angle, but it's a good angle for what it is. Now, it's going to give you a view of what's behind you, but at the same time, it's not going to record anything that's in the car. So just remember, anything that this thing records, even if it's recording you, it could be used in a court of law against you also. So I really don't like cabin view cameras, but something like this that's just recording audio and still picking up what's behind you is a good option. Now, as far as the install goes, it's just as easy or as hard as any other dash camera out there on the market. None of these brands make it extremely easy, like making it completely wireless, so you will have to install some type of wire. It does come with the cigarette lighter or the car adapter, and you can just plug it right in, and if you want to let it hang there, great for you. But me, I like a cleaner install, and I don't even like using the cigarette lighter. I actually like to do the hardwire install, that I actually install it into my fuse panel. I run it up the door seal, into the A-pillar, across the windshield, and down right into the camera. It literally took about 5 minutes. I also installed the rear mounted camera, which does take a little bit extra time. That one probably took me 20 or 30 minutes to do. And you definitely want to watch out for airbags. So if you do have airbags, definitely seek professional help if you really don't know what you're doing. You don't want to set those off, and you also don't want the wires getting in the way when those go off in an accident. So I definitely highly recommend you getting professional help if you don't understand what you're doing. But if you want to try it yourself, I highly recommend it. There are a lot of great videos online that show you in detail what to do and how to do it. So definitely, I will leave a couple links down below to some great videos that will show you specifically how to do it. Each car is a little bit different, but it'll give you the general idea of what to do. Now, all these specs, great accessories, and normal install is all good and dandy, but it really comes down to two main things. One is video quality and also features. So let's go ahead and jump into the video quality. There are three resolutions for the front camera: 1440p at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames, and also 1080p at 30 frames. Personally, I'm going to use 1080p at 60 frames per second. And looking at the footage, it's pretty good. I still got a lot of glare, even though I'm using a polarizing filter. And also when I come up here, I get a lot of sunlight, and it doesn't have that high dynamic range, so the sunlight actually blurs things out a little bit too much for my tasting. But as I'm approaching cars, I can definitely read license plates, which is the main factor. At 60 frames per second, you can just freeze the frame and then zoom in, and as you can see, you have no problem whatsoever reading the license plate. Even the rear footage, which is running at 720p 30 frames per second, is pretty good. But I would say the footage at night definitely needs some work there. Now, as far as features go, Nextbase has all the general features that every other dash camera has, like the timestamps, speed stamps, GPS stamps, which are all very good and dandy. It even has a time-lapse feature, G-sensor, so if you get in an accident, it'll lock down the footage for you. It also has Wi-Fi, so you can download footage and do a live view. In my testing, I did have a lot of issues with the Wi-Fi on both my main phone, which is an iPhone XR, and an Android S8. Both had issues with the Wi-Fi. You couldn't really download footage or connect to the camera, which is not a huge deal, because personally, I don't think people are going to connect to your camera for a live view. I mean, you got to be within Wi-Fi distance, so you can just sit there anyways and see what's going on. So really no big deal. Downloading footage is also not a big deal, because Even if the Wi-Fi worked, it would still be slower and more tedious than taking out the SD card and plugging it right into your computer and being able to find the footage that you want. But what stands out here in Nextbase is two features, which I kind of mentioned earlier. One is the Alexa, show me directions to the nearest UPS store.
Would you like directions to AT&T?
Which is cool to have Alexa in the car, but it's really not necessary because your phone has Siri, has Google, and you don't really need a separate device. It's cool, it makes it a little easier in some situations, but it's not necessary. Plus, you have to have it on Bluetooth mode in your car, otherwise you're not going to hear what Alexa is saying or what she is playing. So for me, it's not a huge benefit, but it is still pretty cool and some people will love it. And the second cool feature is the SOS emergency response system, which I talked about earlier. I also noticed the SOS feature would stop working about once a week or so. It actually couldn't find my phone, even though my phone was in the car. What's normally supposed to happen is that when you get out of the car, it's supposed to disconnect. I guess it uses Bluetooth. Then when you get back in, it reconnects and has that SOS feature. Well, the only way for it to repair was I had to unpair the phone and repair it about once a week or so. But with a SOS feature, you definitely want to be able to set it once and forget it. So hopefully they will fix that soon. I will be leaving affiliate links below where you can definitely get more information on this dash camera. And I will also leave a full pros and cons list where I will update that on a regular basis, as hopefully they will fix these issues within the app. If you guys want to see my full pros and cons list, there'll be a link right up there, so definitely check that out, or in the description below. If you're brand new here, I hope you would consider subscribing by pressing that blue circle right there. And if you want to see some other great dash cameras, check out this playlist right there. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video.
No, nothing can break me.